It just keeps coming, huh? The upside is it quiets down the whole world when it snows like this. I've been thinking to myself, someday the fencing will end. We caught a little bit of snow this morning, but it melted right off, but we're grateful for whatever moisture we could get. And I've been in the middle of fencing in this field here. This is the pasture I ran them in behind those trees. And I have to put in the end fence yet, and then the fence that meets up this way. So it was kind of a job clearing up a lane for that to come through. And this is like a little 2-acre field, but if you want to do it right and make it last, it's got to go. You got to spend the time and effort on it. And I know a lot of you are cringing, but I put my white posts 20 feet apart. See if I can get up on the driveway. And if you make them straight, it's no problem at all. These are 6-inch posts that are 3 foot in the ground, and I have them tensioned this way and that way. So there's a lot of bracing behind this. So here I got to finish up this section here against the road, and then we're pretty much done. So up next is there's the fence I put in. Up next is this whole big field here. As you can see, it kind of goes down and then up. You can see a hay field that we're going to turn into pasture back there. And we've been it's been a one hand washing the other. We have a dairy farmer neighbor who need to get rid of a bunch of manure, and we are happy to take it. So he's been spreading manure on it. And so this was in soybeans last year, and this is the next big chunk that we're going to convert from row crop into pasture. And then this will be a job fencing. Like, we got a fair ways to go. And, so I'm going to put a gate. See here, let me see if I can zoom in. So I've made a gate that is 20 foot wide there, and we'll put another one on the corresponding side so we can drive in here. And then we'll get this planted here maybe in about 3 or 4 weeks. We're going to do a 12 or 14 way cross, grasses and legumes, and then oats as a nurse crop. And I know for some people this is probably small potatoes, but this is a huge undertaking for me, and I have to fence in, all of this with the help of a 10-year-old, and that's about it. Doug, he's a hard worker, but he said, I'll help you with anything but fencing. And he even offered to help fence, but I know he doesn't like it. He spent a lot of time fixing old barbed wire fence back when he ran a dairy. So, yeah, this is going to be a job. I'm looking forward to it. Well, it just about figures that the best snowstorm of the year came in spring after nothing all winter. We're in for... Well, we've had about 3 or 4 inches down already, and it's planning to go all the way to midnight and end up with 6 to 8 inches of snow before it turns into freezing rain tomorrow. So quite a bit of stress on the animals, and the wind's blowing from a funky direction, which I had not really thought through. It's blowing from like east-southeast somehow, and that gets us snow. Don't ask me, but we'll take the moisture. We're very happy about that, but it's pretty wild sudden shift in temperature after shirt sleeve weather to do fencing. So we're just making sure they're getting enough to eat. We gave them half of that bale there, and then we also gave them some alfalfa hay, so they have all the good stuff, all the vitamins and minerals. And then we'll feed them out again tomorrow. We had a sheep that kind of went down with some bloat, and luckily Henry and I saw her. And let's see if we can find her. There she is. She's eating off her knees now, which is kind of odd. But she was blown up like a balloon. You see her right there? She was blown up like a balloon. And so we got a bunch of baking soda down her hatch with some water. And she deflated pretty rapidly, which is good. And now she can walk around, but for whatever reason, she's doing this weird knee thing right now. So we're going to have to keep an eye on her. Everyone's looking pretty good. You see they got snow on their backs, which is a sign of you know, that they have plenty of fat underneath their fur to hold them. Cattle are doing just fine too. I think they're in a bit of shock. They were hoping for spring to come forward, but boy, we desperately needed the moisture. We got almost nothing all winter, and so I was beginning to be very worried. And this doesn't set us back to 0 yet, but it gets us pretty close. The only one we're really keeping an eye on is Anne's little milk cow. She's pretty delicate, but you can see she's got snow on her back, so we'll be all right. And we're not depriving them of anything to eat. They have lots to go through. Oh yeah, look at that look at this red Angus heifer calf. Oh, she looks good. We're gonna breed her this July for a calf next spring. I'm hoping we're gonna get a bunch of heifer calves so we can grow forward. But if we get steers, you know, we have plenty of people that want meat, so that won't be a problem either. But I'm tired of getting snowed on. It's actually not very cold, but boy, it's kind of miserable out here. The wind's blowing in a weird direction, and my tree cover that I had planned for them has done absolutely nothing. Bob's doing good. Old Sheppy dog is doing good. And I don't know what to say. We got us a blizzard coming. We're looking at 40-mile-an-hour winds and 12 inches of snow today, so it's going to be an exciting one. What a wet mess, eh? Can't complain, though. Mustn't complain. Rain is good. So we had snow all day yesterday, and really didn't amount to as much as we thought it was going to. But it's raining today, so we're going to feed these guys a little extra so they're not under any stress. Yeah, they're looking like they want to eat.